What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Lennox Lewis. Big up, England! Big up! Lennox Lewis predicts Wilder against Oleksandr Usyk, Ruiz, and Joshua. In the aftermath, the Bronze Bomber had a first-round knockout victory over Robert Helenius, as we saw less than 24 hours ago. Three-time heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis has given his thoughts on the freakish natural power that Deontay Wilder has been blessed with. And the British-Canadian Lewis was clearly impressed by Wilder's dismantling of the Nordic nightmare. When asked how Wilder would fare against the top heavyweights such as Anthony Joshua, Usyk, and Andy Ruiz, Lennox implied that the power of Wilder would likely be too much for them and stated how impressive it was that Tyson Fury could take Wilder's best punches and continue. He said, "It's all about the knockout power, baby," and Wilder got that. I've only seen one guy up and win from that, and that's Tyson Fury. Not many people can get up from that shot. With Lennox Lewis leaning towards Wilder and fans clamoring for the fight between him and AJ, there is no doubt that the American has brought much needed buzz and excitement back to the heavyweight division after a disappearing couple of months. With just one round on display and three punches thrown by Wilder, the adjustments and improvements he has made under the guidance of Malik Scott in the year since his last fight are still to be seen. He says, somebody that is a killer like Deontay Wilder, you don't know what you're going to get to do to convince them to let their opponent come to you. So the crowd want to boo, but once you give them what they want, they going to do what they did. Those are the words of Lennox Lewis. Let me counterpunch. Lennox Lewis is somewhat of a mentor for Wilder. He's always liked Wilder. He's been around Wilder. He's taught Wilder some things of that nature. And this is typical for any normal, casual fan. But it surprises me for Lennox Lewis. But anybody can jump on the bandwagon, especially after the latest performance. Deontay Wilder knocks another person out. You have to look at the knockout. You have to know how that was. You got to look at many factors, okay? And none of that was taken into consideration by Lennox Lewis. He just said, oh, well, the power will be too much because the power is what he has, and he has that. I never seen nobody besides Tyson Fury to get up. But understand something. There's fighters that got up before that. See, the first fight with him and Ortiz, he hit Ortiz in the 5th round. He caught him. Boom. Ortiz went down. He recovered. Round 7, Ortiz had him hurt. Rounds 8, he had him hurt. Rounds 9, Wilder started to recover. Rounds 10, Wilder did the same thing to Ortiz that he did Helenius. And then he got up 2 more times after that. So when he's saying, well, hey, the one-punch knockout power and is there. No, he has heavy hands. He has a very gifted punch that could change the whole duration of the fight. But I wouldn't get too carried away. And I want people to understand that, because what he is explaining, oh, well, the only person to do that and take that power to get up to win was Tyson Fury. See, the thing is, Tyson Fury is no ordinary fighter. He's no ex-sparring partner of Wilder. He's no guy that's been out of the ring for a while. Tyson Fury is on the level. And what remains to be seen is what Wilder can do with these other fighters. The only good thing is his desire to fight them, which, my case in point, is not Wilder's fault, I don't think. Everybody that knows my stance on Wilder, I think Wilder was managed poorly. I will say that to this day. Helenius, I mean, shit. Why couldn't this be Andy Ruiz? You know what I mean? Well, Andy, to be fair, didn't want to even fight him last year or even the year before that. Andy ducked 3 people in 2020. He said he wasn't ready. He said it wasn't waiting for Ortiz, and so that wasn't Wilder's fault. But the next fight Wilder should be in is a high caliber fight. You know, I think Wilder fighting Helenius is a good tune-up. But I think what happens, people get too carried away with what something that was destined to happen. Okay? Wilder was destined to catch him eventually and knock him out. That was what people thought. That was a fight that they okayed. Okay? Because if you think, like I told everybody in my live, if you go back before Helenius was finalized, you had what? Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk. Then all of a sudden you had Robert Helenius. I'm like, okay, well, what name sticks out that's not really worth mentioning? Robert Helenius. And that's exactly who he ended up fighting. You know, so is it a surprise? It's not a surprise to me. The thing that surprised me is he did it in one round. You know, but then again, Wilder separated guys like Dominic Breazeale from the rest of everybody else. The only thing is, what happens when he gets back up there and then he has that opportunity to show himself? We don't know, because it was a blessing and a curse to me last night. Because, yeah, we seen he has the power. We always knew that. But then we didn't see what he worked on with Malik Scott. We couldn't see the slips, the dodges. You know, we couldn't see the head movement, the footwork. You could see a little bit of it. You could see he was definitely faster, but we didn't really see enough of that round after round to see where's his endurance at? You know, where's his mindset? Can he take a punch from Helenius? You know what I mean? Is he shot? We don't know any of these things. Okay, so you have to take all that in consideration before jumping on the bandwagon saying Wilder's back. Yes, to a certain degree, I am on that bandwagon because I'm saying, yes, he's back. I'm glad he's back and on the winning bracket, in the winning column. Because we have to make no mistake, Wilder himself hasn't won a fight since 2019. Okay? So from 2019, when he knocked out Luis Ortiz the second time, and before that, he knocked out Dominic Breazeale in one round. But moving forward, 2020, 2021, he had an L in both years. So it's good to see him back because this is an encouragement builder. This is not something that, hey, man, he's back. He's going to knock out everybody like Lennox Lewis said. You know, I mean, that's not even, you know, well, the only person that did it was Tyson Fury. I'm like, well, Tyson Fury's on a level, man. You know, Tyson Fury knows, okay, avoid the right hand. I've fought this guy 3 times already. You know what I mean? So avoid those punches. And he did a very good job in the second one. But, you know, for whatever reason, the power wasn't there for Wilder, you know, because he caught him. You know, he caught Fury and Fury took it. You know, but, you know, of course, the narrative was Fury was supposed to have been on PEDs, right? That was the narrative. You know, he took that punch because he's on PEDs. So they had to come up with something else. So let's not get too carried away with what happened last night. It was going to happen anyway, you know, because we've already seen someone knock out Robert Helenius. We've seen Dunapas do it. We've seen Washington do it. Now we've seen Wilder do it, you know. So I think people need to really pay attention to what happens. The most important thing to extract from last night is that he's back in the winning column, okay? But as far as the Lennox Lewis's prediction of him beating these guys, we have to see it. You know, maybe Andy Ruiz, because I think Andy Ruiz is a sitting duck and he's just too short. Whereas you got guys, very athletic guys like Oleksandr Usyk, very gifted physically and athletically. He's going to have problems doing that. Usyk's not going to let him just throw that right hand coming from anything. You know, so, you know, and then Joshua is a totally different fight because now he's looking eye level at someone. You know, like he was last night. Bars. But at the end of the day, if he catches Anthony Joshua, we can then see where he's at. But then here's the thing. If Deontay Wilder gets caught, we can see where he's at. Because those things were still unanswered last night to this day. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Lennox Lewis predicting that Deontay Wilder's punching power alone will be too much for Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, and Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!